Now comes the sorting out process. So now I'm going to hand it off to Jill because now we're going to start voting. Jill?
Thank you, Laura. So we've got a little bit of cleanup to do. What we're getting ready to do is start round 1 of 2 rounds of voting. So it'd be difficult for your club to accomplish everything that you've just thought of over the next 3 years. So now you're going to get to vote on the top ideas that you as an individual would like to see your club working on. Again, we're going to go through 2 rounds of voting. The first is just to narrow down the choices. The second will actually reveal your top choices and your top priorities. Now, each category is going to have a set number of votes. In a bit, I'm going to be posting a link to the chat for you to begin prioritizing your ideas. Each section will have an indication of exactly how many votes you are to do in that section. The SurveyMonkey that we're going to use will not allow you to do more than that or less than that. So it's really important that we have the exact number of votes that are indicated in each of the sections. So for instance, to increase our ability to adapt, you'll have 4 choices. Club size, you'll have 1 choice. But before we do that, I'd like to take a second and review some of your answers because I think we may have some duplicates, and I'd like to make sure that we work on that before you start your voting. So I'm going to go back to the beginning section. Now, and you may want to refer to your writing exercise while we do this. In your answers, in several different places, you mentioned, let me see if I can find it. It was the impact day. And I just want to make sure we get that in the right spot. Let me go through. So in the very beginning, increasing your ability to adapt, how we are known and how we connect. Are there any answers in here that you see that maybe should be in a different section or that we may have repeated later on in the answers? Okay, so we can come back to that a second. If you see anything in there that jumps out, just go ahead and unmute and say, hey, wait a minute, I'm not sure that belongs in that section. Okay, we've got our club numbers. In expanding our reach, I believe this is where we started getting a little bit of, so here we have Rotary Impact Day in this section for our attributes. Who are we? How do we communicate what we do in our community? So we have Rotary Impact Day here. We also had that in the following section, as well as Rotary Impact Awards. So do we want Impact Day and Impact Awards here? Or do we want Impact Day and Impact Awards down here and increasing our impact? Where would you like to see that? So we probably need to choose the best category to put that in.
The other category was 4 or 5, 4 or 3.
Kind of like going to the eye doctor, isn't it? so under expand our reach, so under that section, it's really who are we and how do we communicate? So that's the section where we talked about your club attributes, what are you known for, how are your characteristics, and then the public image is how does the community perceive you? How do people outside of your club view the club with the awareness? How did we increase the awareness over the last 3 years? The second section that it's in is increasing the impact, and that's really more in your community service. How do you do service in your community and then also internationally? So we have Rotary Impact Day and Impact Awards. Every time that was mentioned, those were mentioned together. So which category do you think that that should belong in? It looks like Sandy, you have a comment.
Yeah, I think it belongs in that second category.
So it belongs in the attributes, and then we should
No, no,
I'm
the,
sorry, it belongs in this service.
yeah,
So it belongs down here in how we serve in our community.
that's what I think. What is, so the rest of you think?
All right, Scott, are you agreeing or do you have a comment?
Yeah, I would agree, because I think if we do it well, having it in number 5, then it will result in a greater public image, number 3. So
Okay, so we're going to take it out of here. So we're going to remove impact awards and we're going to remove impact day.
Looks like Evan agrees with that too.
All right, everybody okay? All right, thank you for that. That was one of the things that really jumped out at me that I heard a couple of different times. So we're going to have that down here. Anything else? I think that was all. Team, anything else that you see?
I think I saw earlier that you had 2 references to our age diversity. I think it was up in number 2. I'm not quite sure, but it was the first 2
Okay,
in there, as I recall.
let's see if we can find that. We have.
I think it's down the
Okay, so
next.
here's 30 to 40. Maybe in
Yeah,
next.
I'm sorry. As a group,
Okay.
it was the same group. Maybe in number 2 there, priority expand our reach.
And that's our
No,
number.
excuse me. Yeah, 3. So they're in the third one, the diverse in terms of age and gender, and then known as a club that caters to different ages and meets them where they are. I'm wondering if those 2 are the same thing and we could have an overlap there.
What do you all think? Are those different things or are those the same things?
I would even add the reference to intergenerational, even below the next one too. So in other words, 2, 3, the second one, the third one, and the 5th one would all be the same is my feeling, but I'm just one guy.
I would agree with that. I think
I
that
agree
makes
with that.
sense.
So does everyone agree? Okay, so we're going to, which one do you want to keep? Do you want to keep the diverse in terms of age and gender? Does that speak to everyone with the ideas that you shared?
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay,
Yes.
so then we'll remove intergenerational. And then we'll remove the known as a club that caters to different ages, correct? Okay, thank you for that. Any other thoughts?
There was also
I'm sorry.
100% giving to the Rotary Foundation 100 years in one category, and then it was also down in the Rotary Foundation.
Okay. So we had here under increase our impact, 100% of membership giving at least 100. So that would be 100% sustaining member. And you also included that in foundation. So do we want to include that in foundation and in increasing your impact, or do you want to just leave it in foundation?
I would vote for just the foundation if it was me, so.
Steve, I think you,
I rescind my contribution of that idea in number 5
so, okay, so we're good.
and yield back the balance of my time.
Okay, thank you. You must be an attorney.
Must be
Okay,
a politician.
thank you. And Jim, you had your hand up?
In number 2, I think there are at least 3 references to mentorship. Do we want to combine that into one line?
Okay, so here we have mentor program to align field experiences with mentee. And I think the word was actually who you were mentoring. And then we had, let's see, where's the other one?
Leadership and mentoring in the left hand.
Leadership and mentoring. So again, this is what you're known for and your attributes.
And I thought there was one more in there, but I've lost it.
And
Oh,
it's hard to see all
mentoring.
these on the screen. Okay, so we have leadership and mentoring. We have mentoring program to align field experience with mentee. Are those two things different or the same?
Created leadership and mentorship programs for members.
That was the third one.
Bottom.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So are those all three saying the same thing, first of all? Does everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so which would you like to keep?
Well, the very bottom one was mine, and I think that's sort of a subset of the whole mentoring exercise, so we could delete that one.
Delete this one. Okay. And then we had created leadership and mentorship program for members. And the other one was up here somewhere. Leadership and mentoring. So which would you like to keep?
The bottom one.
Okay, I have
So
one
it's-
vote. Charles says keep the bottom one. Again, that's
would
created
agree.
leadership mentorship program. Everybody in agreement with that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So then we will take out the leadership and mentoring. Thank you. And Evan,
Yeah, also in that category, it seems like we have a lot of reference to creating family-friendly events and social outings. So I'm sure there's a way we can consolidate that as well.
okay, so let's see what we can find that, I did hear a couple of things on scholarship. So here's a fun place to engage as club members, but also as families. And
Steve, go ahead.
I just also see that same category just about where your cursor is a couple down, where it's referencing the 30 to 40 age group. And then the next one targets adding younger professionals to our membership. I'm just going to guess we all kind of mean the same thing with those two as well.
so which one would you like to keep?
Targets younger professionals.
So
Yeah,
get rid-
I like the targeting younger professionals as a general rule.
Okay. So do we want to remove the specific to the 30 to 40 age group? Everyone in agreement? I see a bunch of heads bobbing.
Yep.
Okay. And then it goes, go back to the family. So here's the other, we had at the beginning, we had, where did it go? Somewhere up here was family. So a fun place to engage as club members, but also as families. And then we also have engage members socially and are more family friendly. And offering family events. So do we want to consolidate some of those into? What would you guys like to keep?
Yeah, I think we should consolidate them. I sort of like the offering family events because it's general in nature. In other words, it can be engaging members and their families, or, you know, and that kind of thing.
Okay. So does that capture?
I agree with Mike.
We might, what if we capsize it into like a family-friendly club, or our club is known for being family friendly? Is that in that category, or?
It's your show. So if everyone agrees, we can consolidate those into a new thought.
Well, the one caption, a fun place to engage as club members, but also as families, I think that kind of captures both what Evan was talking about.
I agree, Jack.
Okay,
Yeah, I do too.
so let's leave this one and then remove the other references to families. Everybody good? Okay, so help me make sure I don't miss one. There's another interaction and diversity. So engage members, family friendly, we can remove this.
Mm-hmm.
And then the
Oh,
family events.
Yes.
Yeah, and then also, I think we got another duplicate up there where it says targets, adding younger professionals to our membership, or is that the one that we did combine? Is that what we ended up with?
We removed the age 30 to 40 and we kept
Okay,
that.
okay,
In that same section, there's a reference to scholarships and a reference to supporting the schools.
Mhm.
I think I offered the supporting the schools, and I could happily move that as a scholarships. That's kind of what we do. So we could combine those and just the scholarships, in my opinion. So
Is everybody okay with that?
Do we not work with the schools on other things besides scholarships too?
the well, we do the student leaders, the student council. We support them. So yeah, so I guess it's more broad than just scholarships, I guess.
Right. It
And
is.
remember, this is 3 years from now what
Yeah.
you have done.
Right.
Okay. Anything else that you see that needs to be consolidated? All right. Facilitators, anything else that you noticed?
No.
All right, thank you for taking the time to do that. That's really important. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second. So remember earlier we practiced the chat. One of the reasons we wanted to make sure you all were good with the chat, and you were very good with the chat, is that we are getting ready to put a link into the chat. Okay, so let me make sure I get the link ready. So what we're going to actually be doing is 2 rounds of voting. So here's where I need your full attention before I put that link in the chat. Because we've got a lot of work to do between tonight and tomorrow night. You've got a little work and we've got a little work. So what we're going to do is put the first link in the chat, and I would like for you to click on that link, and before you go to whatever your next adventure is this evening, we'd like you to go ahead and answer those questions and do your initial round of voting. It will take you less than 5 minutes. You don't have to hang on the meeting. We'll be wrapping up soon, but we want you to go ahead and do that as soon as possible. What we will be doing after you all vote is consolidating those ideas and narrowing it down even further. This evening, I will be emailing you a second survey link. So it's really important that we get everybody's first round of voting, so then we can do the second round of voting. That will come again via email. We will also be sending you a document that you will need for tomorrow's session. So before I put the link in the chat, are there any questions about what we need you to do this evening? Okay, so round 1 voting as soon as possible. And if you can get your email this evening and do the second round, that would be ideal. I need the second round of voting completed no later than 9 a.m. tomorrow. And I apologize for asking you to do that so early. I just have a lot on my plate as well to be able to get that consolidated and ready for tomorrow night.
Jill, did Greg have a question?
Yes, I'm getting ready to call on him in just a second.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's all right, thank you. Is there anyone that will be unable to accomplish that second round of voting before 9 a.m. tomorrow? Okay, thank you. Greg, what was your question?
Well, I think I missed out totally on this chat thing. I was looking at.
Well, I haven't put it in the chat yet, so you haven't.
Well, I know, but
anything.
people were chatting, during this exercise, and I'm sitting there thinking, how do I do that? So
That's all right. So we're going to walk you through it, Greg. All right. So I'm getting ready to copy the link. Okay.
I just want to let you know, I'm a rocket scientist, but somehow this escapes me.
I would say, so Greg, remind me if you're on a laptop, or are you on a tablet, or what are you?
I'm on a tablet.
Okay. So what you'll probably need to do is look for 3 little dots somewhere on your screen that says more.
Yep, I see it.
And when you open that, does it give you chat as an option?
It does.
There you go.
Ah,
So
don't you just
we
love
did
it?
it. So are there any other questions that anyone has? So thank you so much. You guys did an awesome job. This is going to conclude session 1 of your club visioning, and we are absolutely thrilled with the progress. We look forward to the second session to be held tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central. But I think, are you on Eastern time? So 6
Yes,
p.m.
Eastern.
6 p.m. your time. You will use the same login that you did for today, and it is unique to you. So please don't share that login with other people. If we have to stumble through the names, we will figure that out tomorrow, but try to go back to your original confirmation and use that link. So if there are no further questions, has everyone been able to copy the link or click on the link in the chat?
Yes.
Is there anyone that has been unable to do that?
I don't know how to do it.
Okay, so if you just tap on it, Greg, on your
I
tablet.
did.
does
Oh,
it-
chat? Okay.
Yeah, so do you see that link that says from me, at which it'll
Oh,
say
now I
from
see,
Jill?
now I see something. Let's see.
Yes, yeah, see if you can click on that. So for those of you who have been able to do that, you actually can keep that window open. You can go ahead and leave this Zoom meeting. That's fine because we're finished for this evening. And then just keep that other window open. Go ahead and answer your surveys. It will take you less than 5 minutes. And we will see you all tomorrow. If you're
Right.
having trouble getting that off the chat, we'll hang in there with you to make sure you can get it.